Good morning. Welcome to today's webinar on centralising contract reporting. Our presenters today are Tom Hardcastle from Qlik and Danny James from CACI. The webinar should last a little over 30 minutes and the recording will be available afterwards. Tom will start today's session, so Tom, I'll just hand the controls over now.
Great. Thank you very much, Angela. So my name's Tom Hardcastle and I'm the sector manager at Qlikview in the UK for the construction, engineering and property sectors. It's really good to be here today on the WebEx, and I'm delighted to be joined by my colleague from CACI, Danny James. So in terms of the agenda, the agenda for today's presentation is a couple of simple introductions to Qlik and to CACI for those of you on the call who haven't worked with either before, and also a quick introduction to what Qlikview does before I hand over to Danny, who's going to introduce the concept of operational performance management before demonstrating the application for operational performance management. So with regards to who Qlik are, we're the authors of Qlikview, which is a market-leading business discovery solution. We're an American company. We were founded in Sweden in '93, but we relocated to the States in 2005. We're listed on NASDAQ, and we're proud to have been voted a leader in the Gartner Magic Quadrant for Business Intelligence for the 4th consecutive year. CACI are one of our top UK partners. They've been an elite partner for over 4 years. They're a major supplier of BI solutions and implementation services in the UK market, and they employ approximately 800 people in the UK today. The partnership that we have, Qlik and CACI, Danny and I are working very closely together with different contractors and different property companies, providing solutions in the areas of facilities management, construction and infrastructure, and the related areas, as well as the utilities sector. The applications that we've built allow our customers to deliver a total contract view or a total business view of the different contracts and the different projects that they're working on with their customers, so that they can analyse variables such as productivity, HS&E, finance, costs such as fleet, plan and hire, fuel and damages, to improve their margins and to hopefully reduce operational costs. So for those of you that don't have an appreciation of Qlikview, maybe it's the first time that you've heard of Qlikview, what does Qlikview do? Well, if we think about how easy and fast it is for us as consumers of technology to get data, to search for information, to make decisions outside of work, we've got tools like Google. We can access data on our iPads and our iPhones and our tablets. We can do this wherever we are, as long as we've got an internet connection. And we can do social networking, so we can talk to our friends and our families and our colleagues on LinkedIn. There's lots of multimedia and data content available on great websites like the BBC. It's never been easier for us to get our hands on information outside of work. But when we come into work, often the experience that we have is totally different. So one customer described to me, it's 2014 outside of work with the access to data that they get, but inside of work it's like the late 90s. So business people that we speak to often use multiple different transactional systems, different finance packages, different ERP packages, point solutions such as expenses or project type software, and those systems don't talk to each other. So straight away it's very difficult to get a single view of your business data, and often the information within those systems is out of date and it's not the latest information. So a report is produced by IT, for instance, or by a specialist reporting person and delivered back to the business a week or two after that report's been built. So the issue that many people have within work today is that they simply can't get access to the data that they need to get access to in a timely fashion, because the data isn't in the same place, and to join it up is a complex IT task that can take lots of time, and IT are already busy working on lots of other change requests and lots of other requests for new reports. So the experience that people have with their data inside of work is very different to the experience that people have outside of work. So what Qlikview does is Qlikview is trying to recreate that 2014 access to data, accessibility of your information in a single place, within inside the walls of your company and behind your firewall. So we empower those non-technical business people, those information workers, to get access to their data quickly and in a single place, in a visual way, so that they can start to discover this data in new ways, ask new questions of their information, discovering new insight, so that they can make smarter, faster decisions that help you control the margin that you make on a contract or the profit that you make in a division of your business. We recognise that most contractors are working to margins of between 3 and 5%. So anything Qlikview can do to help you control those margins is obviously a good thing for your business. And we do this whilst at the same time allowing your IT department to add value elsewhere, because your users are able to get their data and ask these questions themselves without needing IT to go away and write another report or modify an existing report. So there's a corresponding benefit to IT, and there's obviously a huge benefit to the business too. We have a rich heritage in the construction and property sector, providing solutions to our customers in many different areas. The 5 grey boxes are the most common areas that we work with construction and property customers. Our customers in the UK include 5 of the top 10 contractors, 5 of the top 10 real estate firms, 3 of the top 15 house builders, and also the 2 largest projects in Europe are currently using Qlikview to join up different project-related data, so that contract managers and project managers can get a single view of the bits of those projects that they're responsible for. So that concludes the introductory presentation. I'm now going to hand over to my colleague from CACI, Danny James, to talk about operational performance management before moving on to the demonstration of the app itself. Danny.
Okay, thanks Tom. So just a quick introduction to myself. I'm Danny James from CACI. I'm a partner at CACI for infrastructure, construction, facilities management and manufacturing. I've previously worked in a contractor's environment or in market sectors such as utilities, defence, facilities management, in a wide range of roles in operational performance or business improvement, strategy and business development. So first of all, I guess, what is operational performance management? Well, it's the alignment of all business units within an organisation to ensure that they are working together to achieve core business goals. Our reporting solution integrates and analyses data from a range of sources illustrated above in the diagram, and translates that raw data feeds into actionable info. This data is packaged as exception reports and key performance indicator dashboards so that the information can be viewed in context. It allows your business to establish links between operations KPIs and critical business metrics. As a result, you can gain insight into anything from asset utilization to operational productivity, while also being able to monitor commercial performance, uncovering the cause of health and safety and quality problems, and ensuring consistent productivity across multiple business units. So on a contract, why is this usually hard to get? Well, usually operational reporting issues, from my experience and working with a range of clients, is that on a contract, data can be spread across in-house and client systems, be it health and safety, fleet and plant and fuel, scheduling, down to the different sort of finance and commercial systems. As Tom alluded to, it can be difficult to gain a single view of contract performance with these disparate systems and different processes, and and with heavy reliance on IT, it means that subject matter experts have no means to compare performance across multiple projects. There's usually inaccuracies due to disparate data sources and hundreds of reports. As Tom alluded to again previously, there's a heavy reliance on IT to create for the board, so there's a lot of toing and froing. It usually gets a backlog and leads to frustration with IT, even though it's usually because they're under-resourced. And when the report finally arrives, it's usually out of date or inaccurate. Inevitably, on the contract, this can lead to decreased margins for a range of reasons, usually because you can't spot opportunities for improvement quickly enough, which leads to a decrease in productivity, which obviously affects your bottom line and profitability of the contract. So as we've spoken about, I'm going to demonstrate a few different scenarios in the operational performance management app. The first one that I'm going to look at is workbank analysis, which I guess we're just looking at continuous improvements to help protect contract margins. So in the demonstration, we'll identify poorly performing geographical areas, we'll identify poorly performing work streams, the manager's responsible for that, and we'll either bookmark our findings and export the job details for further analysis. So if I'll just move on to the application. This is the front screen of the dashboard, just to run you through a quick demo of how it works. We've got two different work streams. We've got health and safety data. We've also got a web extension in here which looks at health and safety occurrences and where they've happened on the body. We've got street works data, which is basically this contract means that there's works in the road, so that means that we have to do road closures, signing, lighting and guarding, and reinstatement defects, which is basically tarmacking. We've also got a quick finance dashboard that looks at weekly payroll, obviously forecasted turnover, this month's actual against last month's, and gross profit margin, while also looking at key variables on the contract, fuel charts, overtime charts, damage charts. For those that haven't seen Qlikview before, Qlikview uses the power of green to illuminate the selections that you've made. I'll just quickly illustrate this. If we select work type 1, this shows that the selection's been made, and then it also tells you which data is related to that selection. As you can see here, greyed out, they're not related to that selection, whereas the ones in white are. I'll just quickly close this and clear my selections. So on the front screen here, we've got a high-level dashboard of total jobs within SLA, number of jobs that are under 1 month old, and the average daily completed rate. As we'll go through the selections, you'll see that Qlikview interactively updates due to your selections, and it can drill down. Within the map here, just so you know, this is our total jobs within SLA in the contracts region. Highlighted in red is jobs where there's more outside jobs, more outside SLA. In green, there's the jobs that are more in SLA. The bigger the bubble, the more jobs that are outside SLA. If it's in red, if it's in green, the more that are within SLA. You can also tab through to see this in a work chart. Okay, so as an analyst, I'll run through the first demonstration now. We can see straight away that we've got total jobs within SLA at 58%. This is probably, as you can see from the gauge, a little lower than the KPI that we're measured against. So we want to see the problems. We can also straight away see that the southwest and southeastern regions are where the majority of jobs are placed. So we're primarily interested in these regions. If I go to my filters tab, I'll go down to area category. I'll select these two regions. Close down. The map automatically updates. So straight away we can see problem areas here. We can really see that Southport, it has a number of jobs outside SLA. I think that's Ellesmere Port, also a number of jobs. And then we've got sort of little pockets of badly performing areas here. What I now want to do is then really see that which work streams are performing badly. As you can see from the dashboard here, we've got a total of 2,146 jobs currently in the work bank, with 937 of those being outside SLA. That's highlighted there by sort of 43%. And I can see from this interaction, this gauge here, that it's really work type 1 and work type 3 that are particularly performing badly. So I'm going to drill down on that. Again, I've made those selections. So I'll close that. Again, we can see that Southport and Ellesmere Port have the sort of the worst performing areas, with little pockets around Liverpool and again on the east patch. What I would like to do, I want to take a high level snapshot of this, so I'm just going to send this to Excel quickly. I'll minimize that and take that away for further analysis. But I also want to go and see the workers responsible, and this is where I'm going to deselect one of the categories, area categories, just so I can see who's responsible. So I'm going to deselect Southeast. This will update. We're now just drilling down to one area, two different work types, Southport. As we can see, that they're the main pockets of work. If we tab across to the worker chart, we can see that it's mainly P. Williams that's got a number of jobs sort of outside SLA. He's only got sort of 40% within SLA, but as we can see that he's had more jobs allocated to him than say S. Jackson, that's got more within SLA. So he's more likely to get jobs out SLA just on the sheer volume. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select P. Williams, and I'm going to move over to my job details tab. Now, this job details tab tells me everything about the job that we have on there, the subcontractor responsible, the type of operations that it was, or job type, and the order status. So I'm going to take that away. I'm also going to bookmark that. P. Williams, discuss in management meeting. Okay. Now that bookmark's been added. For those who haven't seen Qlikview before, if I just clear my selections, basically what that means is that if I want to discuss at a later date, I can send this to a user if you're on a server, and you can just pick this and it goes straight back to where you were before. Unfortunately, I'm running this off my desktop today, so the application seems to have shut down, so apologies about that. I'll just quickly dive back into it. So, yeah, that's how a bookmark works, sorry. And that concludes sort of the first scenario that we're going to demonstrate today. If we just move on, we'll demonstrate work status analysis. What we'll do from this is identify the status of outside SLA jobs, the job types that are problematic, and identify the areas that are problematic again. We'll bookmark our findings and export the job details again. This can lead, through doing this analysis, discussing it with your teams, this can increase jobs within SLA, which obviously increases productivity, contract margins, and improves the client contractor perception. I'll just reapply my selections. Again, it was work type 1, work type 3, area categories, southeast and southwest. If we move on to the order status, this is where we start to get a view of what the job statuses are. We can see that there's a number of jobs that are unscheduled, which obviously is hard for the workers to do if they're not scheduled into their work bank. And then there's a number that are over 2 months old. Now this application is a 1-month snapshot, so we won't take a look at those jobs today. And we've got jobs which TECO stands for technical completion, which is highlighted here, awaiting sign-off. Now awaiting sign-off basically means that we can just get rid of those quite quickly through system. It's just highlighting that we just need ticking off by the client, so we can take those details away if we like, and take those to the client. Just say, can you pass these? Basically, what that will do is that means that we can claim the order value. So again, increasing the revenue on the contract. We can see as well that we've got a number of unscheduled jobs in these areas. We've got awaiting technical completion. We've also got carryover, and it just gives us a high level of the sort of job statuses through to aborted jobs and cancelled jobs. So I'm just going to take that away with me. And we'll just select outside SLA. We're going to move over to the completed tab now. Now in this chart, I'll just nullify the express one value is null. The job types here, obviously I've had to anonymize things here. The job types are a subsection of the work type, so it's just a high level. So if you imagine this is, say, if it was a facilities management contract, we've got maintenance on building 1, this would be the actual what you're doing on that, so i.e. maintaining the air conditioning unit, for example. So we can see here that this is the main job type that's the problem. So I'm going to take that away, that's job type 2. We can see that there's that selection's been applied across. Again, it's southeast and southwest, that's the problem. We can see it's taken an average of 28 days to complete those types of jobs, and then we can see that the main order status is so 2 months out of date, and there's 78 of those total jobs that are unscheduled. Again, I want to take that away, so I'm going to actually bookmark my finding, and I can share that with whoever. So that's again, that's the end of that demonstration. If we move on to demonstration or scenario 3, this is where we start to look at team performance, which I just alluded to there. Want to really highlight the poorly performing teams. This can highlight training needs. You can improve performance obviously from this. If you're increasing the lowest level of performance, you can increase your bottom line. So in this scenario, we'll use the job type analysis to identify agents performing badly. We'll select the agents, we'll identify their teams underneath them that are performing badly. We'll export job status information for those teams and export job details for further analysis. Okay, so we've cleared selections again, so we'll start from the beginning. Those jobs that are outside SLA. So we're going to go to the completed status. Here we can see that we get a performance chart here of job performance scorecard. Sorry, so on the left hand side we've got the average day, what it's taken them, and then it's highlighted if that's above the average by the colour. So green is obviously below, red is above. Like we said, we saw that job type 2 is the problem. So we've got 2 network managers that are responsible for that. We can see that P. Martin is mainly the person who has teams that are taking too long, so we'll drill down and select P. Martin. What we can do, Qlikview has a nice cyclical change button in here, so we can now see a different view of this. So I would like to see agents. We've only got 1 agent. So we'll drill down to him, and then we'll see his teams. So we can see here that it's that there's a number of subcontracts working on that work type. If we wanted, we could go back. So clear our selections. We could see job type 3, for example, and see the subcontractors responsible for that. As we can see, there's subcontractor 2 and 3 and 5 that are performing badly, and we can drill that. We can reapply the areas that we're interested in, and jobs that have most outside SLA. So again, we've got job type 3 under work type 3 that are causing the problem, and we can see here that there's subcontractor 2 that is taking the longest on those types of jobs, and subcontractor 3. Just to do this sort of quickly and illustrate what I'm doing, we can see if we select on subcontractor 2, where their jobs are, and we can see the details of those jobs as well. So I'm going to take that away for further analysis. I can run through him with that. We can go through the problems. It may be that he's got a number of jobs just from looking straight away that he's actually done his job, it's just waiting sign off. He's got another one awaiting sign off, site cleared. So again, it may be that it's not actually the team's problem; it's actually sort of an internal problem. So we need to establish that. So we can again add a bookmark, subcontractor 2, performance, and we can put performance run through, and I'll go away and discuss that with him. So again, that concludes scenario 3. I hope you've enjoyed the demonstration. Sorry about the application closing down there. It's just a laptop issue that because it's not running off a server. So just to summarise, then I guess if we quickly sort of run through the benefits. Obviously, you've got one version of the truth. You've got an easy-to-use KPI-driven dashboard where the data is always current. It's in one place, so it's quite easy to tab through. I remember working on contracts myself, and you had one person bringing in data for health and safety, a commercial manager bringing it in for finance and commercial, then you had operations. There was no way to holistically see everything. In the application, you could do team profit and loss charts to see who's more profitable, i.e. they might do more work, but they might have bad health and safety scores, and they might have bad productivity. That that supports client retention strategies for contractors. It improves the perception of the contractor. We should also mention that the client side of things as well, we've done applications for them where they can see their contractor performance and their direct labour performance as well. So it's sort of both sides of the coin that we're covering us. And obviously you're reducing IT reporting costs because you're enabling IT to add value elsewhere, and you can just do this analysis as it's business user facing. The subject matters experts have them on the contract as opposed to having to go back to go to and from IT. We've just highlighted some client quotes. We've got Kevin Fowley, who's a business director for gas and water over at Amy, and then Tony Gervin, who's director at interim facilities management provider at MyFM. So that concludes the webinar today. If you have any questions, please post them in the chat box. For any questions after the webinar, please don't hesitate to contact myself on either of the contact details there, my email or mobile. As I say, I hope you've enjoyed it, and hopefully speak to you soon. Thank you.